Hello friends. About 4,500 years ago a wonder of the world was built in Egypt. One that continues to amaze people even today. The Great Pyramid of Giza. With a height of 147 meters. This remained the tallest structure in the world, for over 4,000 years. Heavy stones were used to build the pyramids. And it is said to weigh 6 million tons. Compared to the present-day tallest structure, the Burj Khalifa, which weighs a mere 500,000 tons. The question that left people dumbstruck: how was it built? Back then, people didn't have cranes, bulldozers, or modern technology. So much so, they didn't even have wheels. Even so, they built a monument that still stands. Can you imagine a structure standing for over 4,500 years? Through the hot summers, storms, torrential rains, and weathering. There's no other surviving structure, as old as this, and as big as this. How was this made possible? Come, let's understand the mystery of the pyramids, in this video. The Great Pyramid is arguably the most enigmatic structure on the face of the earth, built around 2500 BC. It was the tallest structure on the earth, for more than 3,500 years. Built as gargantuan tombs, of shining white limestone. The pyramids were designed to hide the dark secrets of the dead. The more we go back in time, the more difficult it gets to figure out sure-shot what happened, when, and how. It is estimated that the Great Pyramid of Giza was built in the year 2560 BC by the Pharaoh Khufu. The monarchs of ancient Egypt are known as pharaohs. We don't know much about Pharaoh Khufu, except that he was the second monarch of the fourth dynasty of the Old Kingdom of Egypt. His reign is a highly debated topic. However, some historian estimates claim 23 years, some 34 years, and some more than 60 years. The pyramid is located on the west bank of the River Nile. And if you see photos or videos of it, you'll notice it isn't the only pyramid. You'd see two other pyramids built on the same site. Of the three, the tallest is the Pyramid of Giza, also known as the Pyramid of Khufu. Smaller than it is the Pyramid of Khufu, the second largest pyramid in Egypt. It is said to have been built by Khufu's son, Khufu. The third and the smallest is the Pyramid of Menkaure, said to have been built by Khufu's son. These are the only monuments from the era. In addition to these, are the Great Sphinx, several burial tombs, and smaller pyramids. There are said to be a total of 118 pyramids, of varying shapes and sizes. Many of them have been eroded by weathering. Very few are in good condition. Perhaps the most well-preserved are these three pyramids. Especially the Great Pyramid of Giza. What was the reason for building these? The same reason why several ancient monuments were built. They were built as a tomb. The pharaohs are buried inside the pyramids. Friends, ancient Egyptians believed in the afterlife. They believed that life doesn't end at death. After death, the soul of the person travels to the underworld, where it is then judged by the gods. Those who lived a life of goodness remain immortal in the afterlife. So to prepare for the afterlife, the pharaohs would commission tombs for themselves, while they reigned. A large amount of food, treasures, jewelry, furniture, and clothes were to be buried with the pharaoh in the pyramid, so that they could be used in the afterlife. After they died, their bodies were mummified. and then sealed in a wooden or stone sarcophagus. You might wonder, how we are certain that this is why the pyramids were built. There are two main reasons, friends. First, we have discovered scripts written on several other pyramids. Texts on sarcophaguses and tomb walls, that tell us about their customs. Second, a majority of the historical pyramids in Egypt and Sudan have been used as tombs. But specifically speaking, in the Great Pyramid of Giza, no substantial evidence was found regarding this. So people came up with their own alternative theories. When the archaeologists entered the Great Pyramid, they found 3 relics and an empty sarcophagus. The sarcophagus is believed to be of Khufu, and the treasures that must have surrounded it are believed to have been looted before the archaeologists got there. Those who disagree with this have come up with bizarre alternative theories. One popular theory making rounds is that the Great Pyramid was a power plant that could generate electricity. People who believe this claim that the ancient Egyptians were very technologically advanced, and that they had already learnt how to harness electricity. As evidence for this theory, some of the ancient artwork is presented on the walls of some Egyptian temples. Artworks have been discovered that are used to back the claims that they were building a light bulb. They say the Egyptians had invented it, but then the technology was somehow lost later. As I've said repeatedly, such conspiracy theories are cooked up when there's a lack of substantial evidence in a matter. But the conspiracy theories are often so bizarre that they make no logical sense. If light bulbs did exist in ancient Egypt, why have we not found any evidence proving it? In reality, this artwork depicts an Egyptian mythological story. Another popular theory claims that the pyramid was a granary to store crops. This theory was proposed by American politician Ben Carson in 1998. According to his personal theory, the pyramids were built by Jesus Christ's father. He said, Joseph built the pyramids in order to store grains. Now, all the archaeologists think that they were made by pharaohs, okay? Friends, here you can see the second major reason for such conspiracy theories. Religious appeasement by politicians. Anyway, today it is absolutely clear, with all the historians in agreement, that the Great Pyramid of Giza was built as a tomb. Back then, people believed that the grander a tomb, the more treasures and food it had, the better would be the afterlife of the pharaoh. Next question. How were the pyramids built? The pyramids were built from 2.3 million limestone blocks. Each block weighs around 2.5 tons. That's more than 2 Maruti cars put together. Apart from limestone, granite and basalt were also used. Each block was so heavy that even with today's modern technology, it would be very difficult to lift them and put them in place. Then how was it possible back then? According to an ancient Greek historian, Herodotus, who lived 2,000 years after the pyramid was built, and is often called the father of history, he claimed that 100,000 workers had built this pyramid in 20 years. But we now know, this statement isn't very accurate. Recent discoveries show that it took around 30 years to complete the pyramid. And it was not 100,000 people who built it, but around 20,000 to 30,000 people. But the question remains, how could so few people lift such heavy blocks, and put them one over the other? The most common theory is that of ramps. That ramps were built to carry these stones, and then put into place. The ancient Egyptians had invented levers, so levers and pulleys were used to move the blocks. Ramps and pulleys, together made this Herculean task possible. Interestingly, when these pyramids were newly built, they didn't look the way they do now. At that time, they were polished with white limestone. which made them gleam like bright mirrors in the sun. And their peaks were capped with gold. Imagine how glorious they would have looked. Today, due to weathering and years of erosion, the smooth outer layers have worn away, and only the inner blocks remain. Who built the pyramids? Many people think that the pyramids were built by slaves. This belief became popular because of some old Hollywood films, where slaves were shown dragging stones under the whips of their masters. But modern archaeology tells us a very different story. The pyramids were not built by slaves, but by thousands of skilled workers, farmers, craftsmen, and laborers. In fact, these workers were well fed, respected, and even given proper tombs near the pyramids to honor their contribution. Evidence suggests that they were organized into groups, living in nearby worker villages, with proper housing, food supplies, and even medical care. Archaeologists have found bread ovens, fish bones, beer jars, and remains of cattle near the workers' settlement. This tells us that the pyramid builders ate meat, drank beer, and lived in healthy conditions. It was more like a national project, where people came together to build something for their pharaoh, and for their own religious beliefs. Farmers, who were free during the Nile's flooding season, also joined the workforce, so that when their fields were underwater, they could help in building the pyramids. This shows that the pyramids were not just tombs, but symbols of unity, engineering, and collective human effort. Another interesting fact is, many graffiti writings have been found inside the pyramid. These were left by the workers themselves. Some teams named themselves proudly, like the Friends of Khufu or the Drunkards of Menkaure. It shows that these workers felt proud to be part of such a massive, historic construction. Even today, the Great Pyramid of Giza continues to amaze us. It is the only surviving wonder, out of the 7 wonders of the ancient world. For more than 3,800 years, it was the tallest human-made structure on Earth. Imagine that, for almost 4 millennia, no building in the world was taller than this pyramid. Even today's modern skyscrapers, built with advanced machines, struggle to match the precision of this ancient monument. The alignment of the pyramid with the stars, its near-perfect geometry, and the sheer scale of construction continue to spark theories and debates. Was it purely human engineering genius? Or is there something we still don't understand? Whatever the truth may be, the Great Pyramid stands as a timeless reminder of human ambition, skill, and belief in the afterlife. It is not just a tomb of a pharaoh, but a message from history, that when people come together with vision, they can build something eternal. And perhaps that is why, after thousands of years, the Great Pyramid of Giza still inspires awe, and remains one of the greatest mysteries of our civilization. If you enjoyed this journey into history, don't forget to like the video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to our channel, Bygone Bulletin. Your support inspires us to bring you more untold stories from the pages of history. So stay tuned, because the past is never really gone. It lives on, here, at Bygone Bulletin.